Hello people, good morning, good afternoon, another beautiful day. Yup, hope your five senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. What? The Xbox One is not a failure. It's not a failure. Okay, Xbox One is a really good system. Okay, really good system. It's not a failure like some people want to put it. Because if you sell 70 million units or 80 million units, that's success. That ain't a failure. Anyway, look, Xbox One is really good because it benefited from the pandemic. And during the PlayStation 5 and Series X era, the Xbox One benefited because there's games that you can play. Okay, so yeah, and plus you had the scalpers when it came to the Series X and PS5, so developers were putting a lot of their games on this console. This console is really good. Anyway, when this system first came out, it never had offline play. Okay, Microsoft was sitting there charging you for off and online play at the same time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the back of the Xbox One, right? So. And this is the Ethernet cable, right? Now you're online playing, but you never had offline. They might have given you an option to go offline, but guess what? This cable had to be connected to the Xbox, had to be connected to the internet. They gave you an option to play offline, but you were never offline. So offline means that there's no internet connection and you can play the game with no internet connections. That's what it means. They finally changed it last year during the Activision Blizzard court case. They finally changed it. They removed that block that they had on the Xbox, because when you ran to the store and got this, you couldn't play your games physically offline. You had to have this connected to the internet. This had to be connected to the internet. And then you're online, right? But then when it came to offline play, they'll give you a little feature within the game saying, do you want to go offline? You click yes. Well, guess what? You were playing. You were offline, but you really never were, because this cable had to be connected to the internet so the system could get updates. So you were never offline. So when I made a video and said Microsoft was charging for off and online play at the same time, they removed the block. So now, when you have your physical Xbox games now, especially on Xbox One, you can play them offline with no internet connection. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, they finally came around to it, So. And then you had the console bans on top of that, because the Xbox enforcement team was banning people illegally, especially when people is not the administrator of the server that the console is running on. Like when you go online and the servers are set up out there, they're being controlled by other people. So if you get into a lobby and you see people's name you see their gamer tag names in red, blue, and pink, they are the ones that's in control of that server. And then if they're cheating you in a game, and then you get into an argument with one of them, the Xbox enforcement team, now will try to block you. They wanted you to take the blame, and not the person that controls the server. And that's what they were doing. They were banning a lot of people. Okay. And then on top of that, when you bought this, you couldn't play your physical disc offline. You couldn't play them offline. This had to be connected to the internet. And then when you're playing on the Xbox One online, they will give you an offline feature within the game, saying that you're offline. And they had you thinking that, but you were never physically offline playing. So when I brought that up, man. They changed course. So the Xbox administrators, they were banning people illegally. Okay, and they wanted you now to run out to the store now and buy you a brand new one of these, and then change your gamer tag, and then start all over the progress that you made in your games. Now they wanted you to start all over again. And then on top of that, let's say you buy a 100 digital games. They wanted you to repurchase those games. Okay? So then they'll ask you a question like, "Oh, are you planning on buying? Are you planning on using this hard drive on another Xbox?" And common sense should tell you, like, wait a minute, like, how did you know that I was like putting this external hard drive from one Xbox to the next? So basically, they were putting words in your mouth. Okay, so yeah, this system, man, for a while you couldn't play your games out physically offline. You couldn't. This system had to be connected. This system had to be connected to the internet. Had to be. Okay? You're online playing, but while you're online playing, you had an offline feature to where you could play offline, but this still had to be connected to the internet. So you were never offline physically, because offline means that there's no internet connection whatsoever. Whether wirelessly or cable. Okay? That's what offline is. There's no internet connection whatsoever. And you can play your games physically offline. That's what offline is. So but now you can do it. But now you can do it. I mean, there's some games that are live service that need to be online. that need to be online so you can play them. But other than that, a lot of games that you own, you can play them offline. Now the Xbox One X now has a HDMI problem. The port is faulty. Xbox One X. The Xbox One X has a faulty HDMI port. So it's either the Microsoft engineers going to have to come up with something to fix it, or come up with an update to fix it, or you're going to have to ship your Xbox to Microsoft so they can fix it. Or number 3, if you know how to solder, that means you're going to have to replace the port yourself. So yeah, the Xbox One X, it has a faulty HDMI port. But other than that, man, it's good playing on the system though. It's a good system. I love the design of it. That's for sure. Love the design of it, the weight of it. The One X is kind of a little bit heavier. That might be because of the heat sink that sits on top of the CPU. But other than that, man, the One X, the One S, they're really good, man. Xbox One in general, though, it went through some improvements. It went through some improvements over the years, and it has gotten better, man. It has gotten better. But when this thing came out, there was no offline play. Yeah, there was no offline play to this. I mean, physically, meaning that there's no wireless internet connection, or there's no cable internet connection to But that's what's off. That's what offline is. But other than that, man, yeah, they fixed some things on this, but the system is really good though, because there's a lot of games that you can play, on there, even when the One X and the Series S came out, some people couldn't afford it or couldn't get it, or they probably weren't ready for it. They probably weren't ready for the Series S and X. They probably weren't ready for the Series X and S, and they were like, they probably just like waited a little bit, but they were gaming on this. they were gaming on this. So yeah, that's that way they could keep up with their gaming. There are different designs, different designs, like the Minecraft one, the 2 Gears of War 5 and the Gears of War 4. There's I think the Master Chief Collection has one. I know Halo 5 has one. Halo 5 has one. I think Titanfall has a special made Xbox. Who else? I think Star Wars. And then you had the 2 terabyte models. The white one. They had the white one in the Gears of War one. So yeah. I mean the Xbox One. They had some nice designs. But the good thing about this too, you can paint this. You can paint this yourself. You can paint this yourself and change it to a different color if you want to. That's a good thing about these. You can change them to a different color. Whether even the one that's all black, you can change that color. You can change the color to whatever color you want. So that's a good thing about these. But other than that, man, these are good systems. But when this thing came out, though, you had no offline play. It's like Microsoft didn't want you to own the they didn't want you to own the Xbox One. By telling you that you have to be online all the time to play. Nah. And then and then they tried to be slick. Oh, like, oh, where's the cable at? Say, oh, you can you can play offline, but you got to go into the game, go into the option and change it to offline. But you were never offline. The cable was connected to your Xbox, and you were still online playing. So they were charging you for off and online play at the same time. But they changed it now, so now you're physically offline and you can play. So yeah, but these consoles though, they're really good, man. They're really good. I like the design of it, the weight, and yeah. And there's and there's plenty of games to play, man. Plenty. What do you want? Open world or what do we? You want side scrolls? You want side scrolling, vertical? Yeah. Plenty of games to play. The good thing about this is since it's backwards compatible with 360 with I think the original Xbox. Yeah. And they're pretty good, man. So Xbox One. It's a really good system right now, and there's people right now still playing this, still playing on this, still playing on the Xbox One because they like it. They might not have the Series X and S yet, but they're playing on this. But the One X now, that has a HDMI problem that needs to be fixed, big time. So yeah, but other than that, man, yeah, man, it's a good system, man. People are playing different games. Accepting, having different challenges. Oh yeah, but this, yeah, good console, man. Real good console. And not only that, this plays 4K 4K Blu-rays. It plays 4K Blu-rays, not 4K gaming, but 4K Blu-rays. The One X now, the One X does both. It does 4K gaming and 4K movies. And the good thing about this too, on the Xbox One, is that it formats the hard drive for you. So you buy a big hard drive, whatever size you decide to pick, and it formats it, and then you just install your games, So yeah. And then one thing about it too is like, like when you have your games, you pick which one you want on your main screen, on the main menu, so you can see what people are up to and how they're playing, So yeah, real good console, man. Real good console. Now that they fixed the the offline play situation, so yeah, they had to make changes, man. Cause yeah, people were complaining a lot, like especially with the console bans and the way they were going about it, because with the server, you're not the administrator, you're just the user. The server is the administrator is one. The server administrator is the one that sets the rules and the privilege, so you can play. So yeah, and then when you go into the game, you notice they have an advantage over you. when you're playing, you notice like certain players have an advantage over you. You're not using any mods or any hacks or anything. You're just playing the game, but other players might have a certain advantage over you based on the mods and stuff that they were using. You know, so and then you might get into an argument with someone, and then all of a sudden, the enforcement team try to ban you, and say you're the one that's creating the problem, but it's not you. It's the administrator. So yeah, and the thing is this: the server now, like let's say somebody leaves a match, the server goes. Let's say there's 6 to 8 players. Like let's say there's 16 people playing, 8 versus 8. One person from one group decide to leave, and then once they leave, the server looks at the list and pick another person, and say, okay, you're going to be in charge of the server. You're going to be in charge of the game, and just keep the game going. It doesn't mean that you are in control of the server and the game. The server just went out and looked for someone so they can so the game can continue keep playing. Yeah, but other than that, man, it's a good system, man. Real good. You know, and a lot of people like this console. A lot. There's a lot of people out there that like the Xbox One S. You know, they probably got a nice little library too. So yeah, you know, during the pandemic, man, the Xbox One served their purpose because people were playing. I mean, even when I think when Cyberpunk, I haven't even played the game yet. When Cyberpunk came out, it couldn't run on this system for some reason. It was a crash that was happening, so CD Projekt Red fixed it. But now you can't. Oh yeah. So people are playing, man. People are playing Skyrim. People are playing Monster Hunter. People were playing, man, Final Fantasy. They were playing all kind of games on this. So yeah, real good system, man. A real good system. So, but other than that, man, you know, Microsoft, they have come a long way, you know, from the original Xbox up to the Series X. But even when the Series X and S was out, they were taking care of this. Yeah, they always have. So, and the good thing, you know, Windows and Xbox, yeah, go hand in hand, man. So, Game Pass, oh yeah. Xbox Live, yeah, real good. But they fix a lot of things on it, and the ship is steady moving, man. Now that the Series X and S is out, you know, more games are. The library for those consoles are getting big, but this still is getting games though. It's still getting games, you know. A lot of retro games too. Oh yeah, you know, you might see them in a bundle. You want to pick that up, but this console, yeah, really good, man, really good. It's not a failure, man. It's just that Microsoft had some rules in there that was kind of harsh, and they had to come back down to earth. Like, wait a minute, we're taking this too far. We're taking this too far. We need to change this, and that's what they had to do. So yeah, real fun to play on, man. And, from the time that thing came out, man, it's been updates coming in like this, non-stop. So yeah, but great console though. Great console. You know. So me, I didn't get caught up in the when people were saying that Xbox was a failure. No, it wasn't a failure. It's just that Microsoft had some rules. Microsoft had some rules that they needed to change, man. They needed to, you know, because you can't tell people they can't have their games offline playing. Gamers ain't trying to hear that, man. So, so they had to change that, and yeah, people are playing on it, man. People are playing on it. But they're doing pretty well right now. They got games to make, so we'll see what they do. But this console, definitely worth it though. Definitely worth it. It's not a failure, man. Microsoft just had some rules in place that needed to be changed, and that's it. But anyway, man, I had to put this video out because my computer was up, and the viewers, you know, they were like, okay, what? He hasn't put out anything, so got to put something out. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris to the Star Wars and Star Trek fan. Or Dark Side. Go. Peace.